Yeah. Feeling refreshed after fall break. Yeah.
Tighten up. Tighten up.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of On the Back Hash. We're talking about all things. Yeah, you had to count. Did you pull your shoot off to get to 17?
And I quit.
We're done. That was episode 17.
For joining us.
As always, my name is Cedric. I'm joined with my boys Zach and Will. We got Chris out today. He's not feeling very well. He must have been working too hard, working them kids too hard at camp day.
Right. Camp day. Every day.
Was yelling and screaming, but yeah, we back. We are full into October, man. It's been flying by.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Halloween, folks.
Yeah, we're getting there.
It's spooky season.
If I was one that was into Halloween, I would say we could dress up for the Halloween episode, but y'all can do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Don't tempt me. It's a good time.
I was going to say, listen, y'all get on here, see nothing but eyes floating.
And you would figure it out too. You would be the one. Like, how did he manipulate all of that stuff?
It's not even possible.
It's Vanguard wizardry over here making people float.
Good times.
But yeah. So I hope everybody's enjoying the cooler weather and has been to some Martian Man shows. Today we're going to get into BOA finally today.
Yes.
We're about halfway through the season. I think I just clicked on the website. It's about 31 days until Grand Nats. So we're going to dig into that some. We just had some interviews, and we wanted to make sure we got those in. But we're going to hear some more BOA talk as the month goes on. But before we get into that today, we're going to talk about a couple more staff changes that has happened over the past week or so. So Zach, why don't you go ahead and lead us off with that and what we got?
Yeah, with our friends down the road in Music City, some big changes to their percussion design team. Bringing in Joe Hobbs and Tom. Is it Rarick or Rarick? Rarick. Tom Rarick. So, looking at some names that people recognize and have seen here and there, and bringing those guys in to help with that design. I definitely think the foundation for that group is there. And the core overall, honestly, they're trending in the right direction. So I'm going to be curious to see what they do there with that.
Yeah, those two guys. I mean, of course, Joe Hobbs works for Blue Coats, so he just won him a Sanford. And,
yep.
I think does Tom Raick work for him too, or where is he at? I should know.
Yes.
That's what I thought. So kind of pulling those two guys into a percussion program that's already not bad at all.
Right.
Tennessee is, especially with, Mystique's been there, but there's been a lot of, people kind of transplant to come to March Music City during the winter season. So to get, guys like those guys to come and work with the drum corps, which they're not affiliated together by any means. But to get those guys, that is a huge opportunity for a lot of students in our area to work under some of the biggest names in the percussion world right now. And that writing is going to be high quality. You just know it is. They're not, with Shane Guatney already there, and I believe Jason Palmer probably helps out with them as well. There's just a lot of knowledge that's going to be filtered through there. I'm really excited to see what happens with that percussion section as a whole.
Yeah, and it's guys that have been around for long enough that they know what not to do and what to do. I mean, it's not like they're bringing in new people for the sake of new people and taking a risk. It's like, oh, these guys are established and they know how to right to fit their group's strengths and how to integrate all that stuff and the sound design and things like that. So it's definitely a good move for Music City.
Yeah.
I hope.
For sure. What else? They had another staff change, right? Is that
Oh yeah, Joe Roach is now the new core director for Carolina Crown, I believe.
uh, that's some pretty huge news.
Hmm.
He left, I think, that role or a very similar role from Music City,
Yep.
um, and is now at Crown. So it almost feels like, of course, which will lead us to Crown here in a little bit, and some of their staff changes. But like, it feels like Mystique is trying to set themselves up to make a power move here, with the percussion changes, and then they brought in a visual guy also, right?
Who? Music City.
Music City, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I forget what his name is. But he came from. He was the visual caption head for Phantom last year, and now he is the new visual caption head for Music City.
So,
A lot of changes, man.
yeah, a
A lot
lot
of
of
surprise changes, if anything.
yeah, because that makes me wonder, like, Joe Roach probably knew, like, ahead of time, like, he's gonna make this step up, to Crown. So, like, you know who's making all these moves to come to Mystique, and then I mean, not Mystique.
Music
That's
City.
a bad habit. Music City.
They're so close together.
It's so
I get
hard.
it. I do it too.
To Music City, like, they're making all these moves. Like, what's the next? Like, who's gonna take over the court? Um, that's kind of the next thing I want to see,
Um,
after that.
the new visual caption head's name is Jacob Taylor.
Okay.
But the way the article of the Joe Roach leaving Music City, the way I understand it is until they find that next person, he's going to be helping them get things figured out and probably part of that hiring process, I would say, until they can get a smooth transition to their next person so that they don't take any steps back.
That's good.
Yeah.
Leave it better than you found it. I like that.
Yeah.
So kudos to Joe for that, and congratulations on this new endeavor. Because we've seen it over the past couple of years. Music City has made some strides, and I think they're going to continue to move up. I wouldn't be shocked to see. You're starting to see it from some other, mid-tier groups. We're talking, 13 through, 20. Starting to make some changes. The jump core staff carousel is in full motion and working, and is trying to very interesting to see where everybody ends up. But why some people are leaving, or are some people leaving or being asked to leave, or just things of that nature is just very interesting. And you don't want to speculate things too much without, because for some people this is their livelihood, so we don't want to say, well, nobody liked them, so they got fired. Like, we don't know if they got fired. Maybe they just left. Maybe they didn't like the chicken salad from the tree. I don't know.
Their Dorito chicken's not as good as theirs.
This is not happening. I cannot.
They get crunchy peanut butter over here.
Right. Y'all
We don't want no Peter Pan. We want chip.
Y'all got that smooth. I need some texture.
Listen, man. People have left places for less. I am sure. But yeah. So keep an eye out for Music City. I'm really interested to see where that goes. So, and then we got some more changes at Carolina Crown.
Yeah, so more percussion staff changes. They're bringing in Mike Jackson and Kevin Shaw, and those names might sound pretty familiar if you're a WGI person, because they're two of the three founding members of Broken City, and we all know Broken City bumped through that door and took their place in the top three out of nowhere, it seems like. So that's a pretty big move for Crown. And by the looks of it, looks like they're trying to go in a completely new direction, percussion wise, arranging and
Yeah,
everything.
that's going to be interesting. I actually kind of hope and wouldn't mind seeing or hearing that, like something new.
Mhm.
And I think I don't think it's bad. I think a lot of groups, it could be time, or it's just, for me, it's just something to look forward to. I was like, I'm real interested to see what kind of sound they do bring with that kind of core. Because if you do know anything about WGI and you've heard Broken City, Crown and Broken City do not sound the same.
No,
it,
not one bit.
it is not on the same planet. So to merge those kind of ideals and stylists, that's going to be very, very interesting to me.
Yeah, pretty sure Roger Carter writes a lot of Broken Arrow book.
Broken City,
Yeah, Broken City book. Who did I say? I might have said
Broken
Arrow.
Arrow. You were just ready
I
for
am
BOA.
all over the place, man. Fall break has Fall break
Listen.
has just melted my mind. I'm gonna go back to school tomorrow and not be any good. Broken City, but so I wonder how much influence his writing style is going to have on the new guy there at Crown.
Mm.
Because that's the thing. I mean, when you play somebody's book a lot, or when you write around somebody's book a lot, or you just hear somebody's book a lot, your writing tends to take on characteristics of those said people. And we kind of saw that with Blue Knights. Is there was a connection between Blue Knights and Broken City for a while, and so you would see similar elements in their percussion writing then as you did in as Broken City's indoor writing. So I'm wondering if any of that's going to translate over to Crown much. I mean, I'm sure these guys have their own style, and everybody's going to want to put their stamp on it, but that it could work because Broken City uses a lot of space.
Mm-hmm. A lot of space.
A lot of space. So, if you,
packs.
yeah, cold, yeah. So, like, if you could write that type of stuff with the horns filling in, it could be a really interesting style. Like,
it could.
That might be something. That might be something to be checking out in the future because trying to find something that fits with that brass, but it's probably a challenge for anybody that's arranging for them.
It is. Because it's almost to a point where you can't even do it by accident. You got to literally plan how you write it because of how that horn line is. So it's almost like, okay,
Yeah, because
this spot is for you.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
that horn book is going to be
You got
priority number one for sure.
Yeah.
You got 8 bars.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's
That's
16 counts.
6 total for the whole show.
Yeah, the 8 bars are in 2/4. So
you bad. Pay
just make it work. Make it work. So, and then we also alluded to Joe Roach being their core director now.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just, and like I said, there's a bunch of different reasons why people may leave. This may be their time. The world of drum corps is weird as far as like I think some people assume that people make their livelihood off of running a drum corps. And there may be a few that do that, but most of these other people got like side hustles or side gigs or main hustles, and DCI is their side gig.
That's probably what it really is.
Mm-hmm. We talked about Richard Saucedo later on. While he was doing all that arranging for Cabbies, that wasn't his main gig. He was a high school band director, turned principal. Now he's like the arts administrator, I think, or something.
He was composing and stuff too.
Yeah. So like, at some point, with 24 hours in a day, 52 weeks in a year, some got to give if you want to, keep your real job that gives you benefits and take care of your family and, all those things. Someone's going to have to give. So, wish we kind of had some more information about some of the stuff, but like I said before, if it's meant to come out, it'll come out for sure.
Right.
And then cadets also announced their staff. A lot of them want staff changes, but they did have their staff posted up. And the most notable to me was Lee Bettis is joining the percussion staff there.
Mm-hmm.
Huge name.
Yes, sir.
Huge name. But it almost fits. It almost feels like that's supposed to happen. His thoughts about that. All right, good talk.
It's almost like making crazier in a sense, because we all know how they already play.
Yeah. So just looking at their design team for the 2023 season, we got Joe Bilby for visual design, Jeff Sockting for visual consultant, Brian Murphy, program and visual coordinator, Jay Bocook is back for Brass Rangers, so I'm already a fan. He's like my favorite. Lee Battis is doing the percussion directing, and he's the battery arranger. And then you got Mark Whitlock as the music and brass consultant. That's a veteran staff.
I'm also a brass consultant. I forgot to tell y'all.
For cadets.
Like, wait a minute.
Yes. For cadets.
No, the cadet class.
Oh, cadet. Oh,
cadets.
The cadet class, cadets. Okay. Gotcha.
And I'm out.
All right. We've enjoyed having Zach on the podcast.
We do not associate.
Moving on to bigger and better endeavors.
I mean,
I'm
do what you gotta
the
do.
cadet corps director.
Somebody's gonna listen to this and fast forward it to you just saying cadet corps director and not hear anything else. And then you're gonna be like, who is this guy?
Starting in elementary corps in my school.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I'm not scared.
You say that now.
I'm not scared at all. Just say, don't ask for nothing you don't want.
You're going to be trying to do one drill set for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. Go there and stand there. Please.
But
no, but nothing. I said stand there.
I can't count to 8.
Why's the floor wet? Take a break. Take 15.
Everybody call your mamas.
Yep.
Call your
mamas. I mean, they do it in Japan.
Yeah.
But that's Japan. But yeah, so back to cadets. Yes, I'm really excited about that design team. It's the veteran staff, and I really enjoyed their show this year. So just kind of moving forward with them, some stability, I think, is also good, and my cat agrees with that.
It's like, oh my.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we So as we get some more staff changes that are a little bit more, pertinent to what's going on, we'll keep you guys posted for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure. So let's get into some BOA because we haven't. Shame on us. I think all of us being in the middle of the season, of our own marching band seasons, we kind of get caught up in our stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, we're halfway through marching band, and we hadn't said a word about high school marching band. So, we're going to talk about that. So we're not going to go all the way back in this kind of recap stuff. But we're gonna talk about the shows, kind of like we did in detail. The shows that just happened this week. Good thing is, shows only happen on Saturdays, so we don't have to, worry about a show happening on a Monday or Tuesday night before the podcast is released. And we have to talk about stuff. So we're going to talk about a few things we've watched. We've got to catch a couple of shows. Like I said, we were on fall break this week, so we were able to actually see some shows and, kind of get excited about upper level marching band. So this is kind of a real quick recap about some scores this past weekend. There were 3 regionals hosted in BOA this year. One was the Mid-Atlantic Regional Championships held at the University of Delaware. Preliminary results in Class 3A. First place went to Kiski Area High School out of Pennsylvania. Second was Baldwinsville High School out of New York. And third was Light Ridge High School out of Virginia. In Class 2A, Kiski swept all captions there. So give congratulations to them. In Class 3A, Independence High School out of Virginia was first. In second place was James Madison High School out of Virginia. And in third place was Green Hope High School out of North Carolina. And they split the captions, actually. James Madison won music performance in Class 3A. Green Hope won visual performance in Class 3A. And Independence High School won general effect in 3A. And then in Class 4A, you had Mill Creek High School winning Class 4A at the Mid-Atlantic Regional, followed by Springford High School out of Pennsylvania in second place, and Cumberland Valley High School out of Pennsylvania in third. Mills Creek swept all captions for that. So going into finals, you had in 10th floor, let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They took 12 for finals. So in 12th place, Westerfield High School out of New Jersey with a 70.7. 11th was Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology out of Virginia. 10th was West Genesee out of New York. Genesee?
Sure.
Out of New York. We'll go with that. 9th was Mills Creek. 8th was Light Ridge High School out of Virginia. 7 was Edison. 6th was Baldwinsville High. 5th was Green Hope. 4th was Fort Mill. 3rd was James Madison High School. 2nd, Independence. And Kiski area is the Mid-Atlantic Regional Champions out of Pennsylvania with a pretty nice score of 83.
Yeah, it's like small spread.
Yeah, won that show by 3.5 points. So, congratulations, Kiski Area High School. At the West Texas Regional, because there are 75
It's like
regionals in Texas.
there's one state in BOA.
And one, yeah, the state is BOA. BOT, Bands of Texas. All right.
Oh, man.
We didn't write this, folks. You can't make this chemistry up, guys. We already did this anyway. In Class A, first place was Pecos High School, and second place was GLCA High School, and in third was Tulia High School. Pecos swept all captions. In Class 2A, we had Sherryland High School out of Texas winning Class 2A. Piedmont High School out of Oklahoma finished second, and Plainview High School out of Texas finished third, with Shayland sweeping all captions in 2A. In Class 3A, we had Clovis High School out of New Mexico winning Class 3A. Azale High School out of Texas is second, and Summit High School out of Texas is third. Clovis High School swept all captions in Class 3A. In 4A, we had Mo and Jean Johnson High School out of Texas winning Class 4A. Lake Ridge High School finished second. And Shites, yeah, we'll go with that. No, sorry. Sachs High School. Finishing third in Class 4A. Mo and Jean Johnson High School.
Mo and Jean sounds like a TV show for the 90s.
It sounds like a school that should be in Kentucky. Let me be honest with you.
Yeah, you ever been down to Mo and Jean's?
So,
they got the best meat and 3 you've ever had.
In 12th place in finals, We had Fossil Ridge High School out of Texas, and then 11th, Sherryland High School. 10th was Midland High School. Summit High School was 9th. Azell finished 8th. Del Rio High School was 7th. Lake Ridge High School was 6th. Permian High School, 5th. Braswell High School, 4th. Sachs High School was 3rd. Clovis High School was 2nd. And your West Texas Regional Champions was Moen Jean High School.
Moen
With 83.9. Almost, about a 3.2 point gap. So congratulations to them.
Those spreads are like, bow, bow, bow.
Right.
Yeah.
Groups of 2, razor thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, Texas.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they do pay in right down there.
Mm-hmm.
Mo and Jean took general effect at finals as well as visual performance, and Braswell won music performance while they were there. So, congratulations to those guys. And then probably considered the premier regional of the week, the Dallas-Fort Worth Regional Championships held in Dallas-Fort Worth. And prelims. In Class A, we had Crum High School in first, Whitesboro High School in second, and Brock High School in third, with Crum winning music performance and general effect, and Whitesboro taking visual performance in Class A. In Class 2A, we only have one school, which was China Spring High School out of Texas. So they swept everything because they were the only ones in their class. Class 3A, here's where it gets fun. Wakeland High School, first place in Class 3A. Lone Star High School finishes second in 3A. Highland Park High School finishes third. Wakeland sweeps the class with all the class awards there. And in Class 4A, big dogs, Hebron High School takes first in prelims over Flower Mound, who was second, and Marcus, who was third. Hebron takes music performance and visual performance, but Flower Mound takes general effect. And after seeing that show, I can see why.
Yeah.
Your finalists in 12th place was James Morton High School. In 11th was Rock Hill High School. Timber Creek High School finished 10th. Lone Star was 9th. Waxahachie High School was 8th. Keller was 7th. LD Bell 6th. Wakeland 5th. Coppell High School was 4th. Marcus High School was 3rd. Flower Mound 2nd. And Hebron wins the Dallas-Fort Worth Regional Championship with an 89.6.
Let them have it.
Good Lord.
You popping 89 already, boy.
In the first week of October.
God, Grand Nats is finna be ignorant.
Somebody's scoring 1,000. I'm putting that out there.
Make y'all mad.
Just throwing that out there. So, it's DCI and BOA is kind of hard to compare
It is.
some stuff together because, you're judging regionals off of things. I'm sure just like a lot of like larger circuits, like, you got Mid-State Circuit and the Western Circuit, you're pulling from a pool of judges. So I'm sure you can kind of sort of compare scores, but it's kind of hard because you got all these Texas schools that are Texas, and then you have your Midwest schools, and then you have your upper northeastern schools, and then you got your California schools, and then you have your southern schools. So all of these regionals, you don't really nobody gets to really see each other until Grand Nats. So it's interesting to see how that stuff pops up. But my God, an 89. I mean,
This early.
This early. And I haven't seen that show. I don't know if any of you guys have caught that.
No, I have not seen Hebron yet.
Okay, so, but I have seen Flower Mound. I've seen Flower Mound, and their show. First of all, super cool name, and that's not foreshadowing at all. But maybe I should have said it was, but then it would have made me look smart. But the name of their show is called Adventures of Superband.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
It's creative, man.
Yeah.
It's creative.
That's some good stuff.
So
And
cool. So go ahead.
I was just saying, I appreciate a lot of groups who are just not afraid of true out of the box creativity and look at this activity and the things that we do in all things music arts as not just solely wanting to win, but to challenge and to create something that evolves the activity in general. Because if you have not seen that show, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Search it, YouTube it, whatever. What is the streaming service? Box 5?
Yes, Box 5.
If you've got the means, it's worth getting. I know I personally wish BOA would come back to flow marching, but man, it's a well put together show. There's some things that I also wish that they would add just for my own personal benefit, because I think it just would make it even more cool than it already is. Because the first time I seen it, I was just staring at the screen. I was like,
yeah,
okay, I don't like y'all. Like, this is not even fair.
And for those that don't know us well enough, typically when we say we don't like somebody or something like that,
yeah,
it means we really do like it. Like
it's the bomb.
Like, we're mad because we didn't think of it.
Right. Like, God, Lee's like, this is so good. Like, I can't stand it.
So to kind of go ahead, Zach.
You can tell that those kids, and that's the thing that I had to remind myself when I was watching these videos, like, it's not drum corps. Like, these are some kids. Like, these are 15, 16-year-olds, probably
13,
maybe
14,
some middle schoolers out there.
Even younger than that.
And you're like, and they are executing
very well.
But the thing that I love about this show is those kids, you can tell that they dig it. They like it. They are selling it. They have bought in, and they are playing their tails off.
And I say that a lot to a lot of people that, are designers and stuff like that. I think it's important when you do design something I think it's important that the members buy into what you're trying to sell.
Yeah, what's that?
Because if not, you're going to be pulling teeth your whole season.
Yep.
You'll be telling them, you got to perform this way, you got to perform that way, blah, blah. And look, you're not going to get 100% everybody or all the kids. Like, even if you get majority of the kids that like it, there's probably still going to be one person who is not feeling it, or maybe they like this song, but they don't like the other song. There's always going to be those type of issues. But if you can do your best to get a majority and a show that everybody's like, okay, this is cool. Let's go for this and blah, blah. I think that's important, man. Because I've seen too many groups that do show designs and they're only thinking of themselves when they design, and you ain't even the one on the floor. It's like, or on the field. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, myself. So to kind of preface some folks about the show, they have these panels, and they're black, and they move around the field. But as the show goes on and the story is being told, the panels reveal comic panels and highlight kind of what's happening on the field.
And they all move in different ways.
The panels have their own coordinate sheets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that serious. Like, one will move like in a half side to side, one will move up and down. I'm like, first of all,
you talk
y'all
about
even
guard
thought of
integration.
that.
How you go
And the guard,
prop integration?
When the guard one went up, I almost turned the computer off. I was like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not
like, very well thought out already.
I don't know if the video you saw, you said that the panels were black on one side. The video I saw, it was from like this past Saturday.
Yeah.
And the side that doesn't have the comic panels is a brick wall.
It's a brick.
Yes.
I was going to say that too.
Okay.
But yeah.
They just look black on my screen, but I'm also blind, so
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
knew
just,
it was a brick pattern. I did notice the
Yeah.
brick pattern. It
Okay.
just looked black to me.
there, just yeah, just the energy that group from the get go when they come out from inside. But there was one part that I kind of got a little bit lost, and it kind of lulled me a little bit. And it was, I guess, it's a bassoon solo inside the prop,
Mm.
and I was like, all right, they were just about to lose me, and then it was like, bam, high brass feature, and those kids nailed it. It was stupid, and I'm like, all right, I'm back.
Hmm.
Like, this is, I want to be a superhero.
So
Now,
yeah, that's.
are they the group that did the Dr. Seuss show last year?
I don't
Is that
remember.
them?
Flower Mound. With yeah. Yeah. Well, was it Dr. Seuss or was it
Well-
Lightning or Lion King?
No, that
It
was
was somebody else.
CTJ.
Yeah.
Flower Mound. I think it was them that did the Dr. Seuss, because
Colors everywhere.
I'm a fan. Send me some
Yeah.
merch and I'll wear it.
All right,
That part.
Fire Mom, you heard it.
For real.
I need your band moms to hook
We'll
me
represent.
up.
We'll
The merch
represent.
tent.
Not even playing.
And you mentioned CTJ, Claudia Taylor Johnson. Let's talk about them because that show is also another good one that I really like.
Claudia.
It's out there.
Listen.
I heard. Sure, I get it. You get on my
You.
nerves.
I'm turning this off. I'm not doing this.
Chris isn't here for the dad jokes, so I gotta step in and do it. I'm not a dad though.
But listen, that Claudia show, if you have seen it, first of all, they had me the moment I turned the screen on because I'm first of all, I am in love with anything and all things that has to do with space and outer space and the galaxy. If you put galaxy or space or something in front of 9 times 10, I'm probably going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the first things I said when I was watching that, I said, this thing better not rotate. And of course, I was like, okay.
Well, it's a planet, duh.
It's like,
It's gotta rotate.
What did you want it to do?
Because the way it was the way they had them.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the Jupiter one to do it, so I'm hoping the show ain't done and whatever. But
We're gonna have
the way they started that show and the way they mixed Mars with like 4 other songs.
That's
Listen.
well, and that was the thing that I was impressed with was the arrangements of everything.
Because when
go ahead.
groups say they're doing the planets, I'm like, okay, I've seen this about 50 times.
You
But
know,
this one was different. This
Mm-hmm.
one, I mean, even
But I
from
heard
the
the announcement.
pre-show where it was like this techno electronica version.
and that's the thing.
And
I was
you
like,
have
they
to
are
know-
actually
you
they are
have to
actually
know the
playing their
planets
pre-show.
well enough to hear those little bits and not just think it's some random.
But
No,
it wasn't
techno
even that.
recording.
It was the fact that they actually played it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, these are the pre-shows I appreciate the most. Like, I'm not hating on anybody that does do a track because there are a lot of groups who do tracks and they can transition from the track to the show very, very well. But that kind of pre-show, I was highly digging that kind of intro in their pre-show for that, and they got the sticks out there or whatever. And I'm
but
like,
say their
okay.
pre-show was harder than some people's marching band show.
Thank
Period.
you.
The pre-show.
Because I was like, what is happening? And then I was like, oh my God, this is the pre-show. I was like, okay. I was already in it as soon as seeing the props, and now y'all doing all this. And then they played the first note, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Did you see
What the way? I'm
the
just
kid on the bike with the ET
yes.
nod?
Saw him pull right out in the front. I said,
Got ET in the basket on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, it's
Bye.
the arrangements are really, really well done. All of them. I mean, they do the planets and they open with the planets, but it's so professionally done you don't get bored with it. It's just really smartly done, really real out. Then they do What a Wonderful World
mm-hmm.
for their ballad.
Yeah.
surrounding Earth.
Mm-hmm. That was
Um,
beautiful.
in a different, but it's not the traditional way to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The vocalists are fantastic,
Yeah. Those kids can
very
sing.
very
Those kids can
talented.
sing.
Now, did you notice? Did they take that drill move or that drill set from Boston?
Where they lay down and
Mm-hmm.
make the little path. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed
Ooh.
that and thought, oh,
Listen,
that
I
looks
would
just
not
like
doubt it.
Boston where they're walking on the path.
When they
Mm-hmm.
go, I
There's
wouldn't doubt
another
it.
there's another Boston-esque moment in that show that I'll hit on in a second when we're done talking about What a Wonderful World.
But that was
Um,
like very well designed as a focal
Mm-hmm.
point.
mm-hmm.
And you got the music, you got the singers, and you got the planning. And I was like, this is
Mm-hmm.
brilliant.
Yeah, it's good.
Whoever
Yeah.
did their drill and their visuals and all that kind of stuff, and that led up to that moment,
Mm-hmm.
kudos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat yourself on the back.
And then you get a little Rocket Man percussion
Oh,
interlude.
Yeah.
That was super strong. I believe, was it them that used, I took notes, was it them that used the snare, the little snare solo
Sounds
feature
like- it
that
sounds
has the
like
sound effects?
Yeah.
No, that was Flower
that
Mound.
Was that Flower Mound? Okay.
Mhm.
yeah, that was
It was Flower Mound. Yeah, that was Flower Mound. But yeah,
Okay, Blue Knights.
yeah.
So the thing with the Rocket Man, it kind of felt to me like the Lacrimosa section from Boston this year. Like it's like they put it in to put it in, and it didn't fit, but it does fit. But it seemed like very like forced.
You talking about
Maybe
Rocket
four.
Man?
Yes, it was
It's
good.
early,
I
man.
liked it, but
I can see why you said that, but I didn't get that
I
when I
didn't
was
either.
watching it. To
But
me,
I
it
know
made
what you
sense.
mean.
And it's probably, well, but here's the thing. I was going to say it's probably because it's such a genre shift,
Mm-hmm.
but the whole show's a genre shift.
Mhm.
Like they're playing classical music, but not classical,
yep.
and then they twisted What a Wonderful World
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
so much to where it's almost not, if they weren't singing those words,
Yep.
But you
you
got to think
wouldn't
it's.
think that's what that was.
But I think it's different key and everything, and the rhythm that the singers are singing in is completely new.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's like a completely different song.
So I was like, okay, way to go. I was like,
Yeah.
thank you. That's innovative. I like that.
And then they come back
Yeah.
to the planets in the closer after the Rockin' Man. So like, I can't wait to see that finish. Like I really enjoyed that. Like, it's very well done.
And I mean, it's also like we said during DCI. There's a huge difference when you watch on Flow or on YouTube than there is when you're there. And
Yeah.
I could see the CTJ show tomorrow in person and completely change my mind about that section.
Yeah.
But just off my first read, I
Yeah.
didn't hate it, but it just kind of felt like it was dropped in there, just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But it's
Like I said, it's warranted. Like I'm not going to disagree with you. Like I can see where people could think that, because it is so out of character, especially coming out of that ballad. Because
Send me a
there's
t-shirt and I'll take it back.
Oh,
It's my campaign.
that's your campaign. Get a T-shirt from all these high school BOA.
everybody send me a T-shirt.
Everyone.
But they're watching BOA, and I didn't really get into it until I started kind of teaching, just to figure some stuff out. But watching it, there's almost like 4 different type of shows that you get. You get stuff like Flower Mound, where it's super fun, super energetic, very playful, very colorful, very fan oriented. And then you get kind of like the Claudia show from this year, where it's familiar tunes and it's marching band, and it's almost like it's like drum corps just for marching band kids. Like the concept's there, and you get you get everything that you want out of it, and it's like, okay, this is marching band. And then you get a group like Carmel this year, who is basically concert band on the field um, to get their, to get everything across. And this is, I mean,
huge.
they're big.
This place is huge.
um,
Like 400 kids out there.
They play well. They play really, really well. It's kind of one of those things. I'm seeing people kind of argue with Carmel, like they don't think the book's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see how it could be.
Yeah, I don't
perceived
think,
as
particularly the
game.
brass book.
Yeah, we're playing the game this year.
I don't think their visual book's very hard either.
I'm not sure what all you can do with that many people without
Right.
it being split focus for 11 minutes or 9 minutes or however long their show's going to be. But it's at some point you need to be like, listen, y'all gonna have to be in symphonic band because this ain't gonna.
So I mean, it makes you wonder, and that's the thing. That's philosophy. This could be a podcast on its own, but finding that balance between challenging your kids and challenging your design staff, but putting a product out there, that can be competitive, because sometimes you can execute so well that it doesn't matter what you play; it's just that good. And Carmel is doing that right now. And by no means am I saying their show's easy, but when you hear some of these other groups and what they're doing or what they're being asked to do, it's the old adage that a good friend of ours, David Dayton, used to say. He's like, "Are you going to do this much stuff this well, or are you going to do this much stuff this well?" And sometimes it's, high risk, high reward. If you got to do all of that stuff, you got to do all of that stuff.
It's gotta be clean.
So, just watching that Karma show is like, all right, this is all just really, really good. From a from a fan standpoint, I'm just like, I like it. I appreciate it. It is what it is. But what's the next level of this show look like?
Right.
Like, what's going to take this over the top? Because Horn Rank, week 4, they're sitting second behind Broken Arrow. So, it's, and watching some of these other shows, it's like, what happened? And this is where we talk about going head to head and not seeing each other, not seeing someone else until you get to finals. Because
I believe this coming weekend is Broken Arrow's debut.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I read that. So definitely be on the lookout for them.
So they haven't gone out to a. So they hadn't gone out to a regional yet?
I don't think so.
Don't they usually host one? Or is that just DCI?
I'm trying to even remember why I read that.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I wouldn't.
That's why I was like, I think. So don't hold me to that. But
yeah, I know. We'll do some research and see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
because there's a lot of groups that ain't been their foot in the pipe yet. Avon, Tarpon, got some heavy hitters still. Or if they have been out, they have not emerged on the YouTube web.
Probably some local circuit stuff.
Yeah, that's
they're kind of checking on some stuff. Some other notable groups that I know I watched, Vista Ridge, and their show Diversity. Really cool arrangements with that as well. Um, and then, I watched another one.
2 words for Vista Ridge.
What's that?
Symbol solo.
Let's go.
I jumped out of the couch. I was like,
go.
come on.
Why was
They
you
got
in
up
the
on
couch?
Off the couch, in the couch. It's
They got
fall
up on
break.
that
Don't act
stage,
like
I
you
was
weren't in
like-
your couch either.
I'm telling you, they got on that stage. I was like, woohoo! If y'all don't hit this, boy,
It was awesome.
I might have came out on the field if I was there. Got everybody penalized.
See,
Then got tackled by the time penalty judge.
but strong.
Way to present
Strong
yourself.
show from them.
I have because you don't get that in marching band. That's an
Not
indoor
really.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To be
that's-
confident enough in your section like that
Yes.
to give
And
them that kind
that
of a spotlight.
exposed. Yes.
I don't even think SEV get that.
not often. The end of the show when they make the V.
That's about it. That's what they're memorable for. But you get a whole section to you.
Yep.
So, but very cool show. And then don't want to leave out Vandergrift either.
Oh,
Just continue to
just
be strong in all aspects.
so good.
That show
Not fair.
Only,
about the
first
grid.
thing I wrote for in my little notes was yes in all caps.
That
First of all,
perk
how are you
intro,
going to
man.
have the Vandergrift Marching Band and blah, blah, blah dance company?
Vision Dance Company.
Your
Yeah.
Vision Dance Company is bigger than my program. Why? Why?
The grid?
And you're not even going to pick up a silk until the second song.
Ain't got to.
Like, come on.
That whole intro is fantastic.
Yeah, so good. We did one of their shows a few years ago, and it was awesome. I enjoyed that show a lot.
I like their rendition of Axiom.
Mm-hmm.
It's different.
Like
I
It is
wanted it.
different.
I wanted
It is
when I
different.
heard it. I wanted it to be like Blue Coats, and it wasn't. But it was good.
pretty cool rendition of that. So
The thing with them, when they do a lot of. I mean, obviously because it's in the grid, like they have a lot of straight lines and boxes, and very linear. Their cover downs are ridiculous, but their visual package, you're talking about plumes. Like when they plie and come out into an angle, everybody's plume is the same degree. Like they brought out a protractor and measured everybody's plume in that whole band.
Jesse, you are at 35 inches. You need 45, girl.
And it's every time they did anything like that, every angle was just, I'm like, y'all are 15 years old. And just,
15.
That shows that program, man. They are doing some unreal things out there as far as just musically teaching. It's crazy.
no detail is too small for them, seems like.
No, and that's what it takes. So, this weekend, you got some big regionals. The North Carolina BOA regionals happening. Johnson City, Tennessee, at East Tennessee State University. North
The
Texas.
Dome.
Yeah, the Dome.
Yeah.
North Texas is also this weekend. And then Super Regional, St. Louis, Missouri, happening the 14th and the 15th at the Dome.
The Dome.
Nice.
Some really big groups happening, so make sure you check those out this weekend, and we'll talk about those. And since prelims is on a Friday night and we don't have a football game,
Son.
I might be able to watch some of that.
You trying to drive up there?
Don't tempt me.
It's like, hey, listen.
I'm not above it. Some notable folks that are going to be there. Blue Springs out of Missouri is going to be there. O'Fallon Township out of Illinois. Broken Arrows playing at
There it
3
is.
o'clock.
So I was right.
Green Valley, Plainfield. Let's see here. trying to look at some names. Francis Howell and Francis North Central. Marian Catholic. Let's go 145. Millard. Russell County, Kentucky. Go home team. Gonna be up there. All of the Francis Howell. They just taking the whole school district.
Listen.
So yeah, lots of some big hitters going up there. John Harden, another Kentucky school. LD Bell making the drive. Yeah. So
everybody else is going to be at North Texas. We're going to go to Missouri.
Right.
We'll see y'all.
Forget all that.
So might have to check that one out. We might be watching some BOA at school. Listen, I can make it work for my Western planning. I always do.
Blue Springs.
Always do.
O'Fallon Township. That's a name that I've heard.
Yeah. So lots of good shows coming up. So, but yeah, we're gonna get big a little bit more deeper into BOA as the season goes along. We just need to get our season off to a good start. So hopefully all your local circuits are getting good to go. This is our last in Kentucky. This is our last week of regular season shows. We got regionals coming up next week and state 2 weeks after that. So, fun times.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know, right? The West Coast will be marching in January.
They had band camp.
We just got out of band camp last week. Just kidding.
Yeah. Which those kids, those California groups that are just not getting started and then doing indoor on top of that.
They don't ever stop.
Rough, man.
Good grief. So, all right. Well, fellas, you got anything else y'all want to say?
Good.
No.
Well,
Get those toes out.
Yeah, get those toes out. So, if you like what, yeah, please, Zach will get out to you about your pluming and your foot shape.
Oh,
so
yes,
you will. So if you liked what you heard, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know what BOA groups you're looking forward to or any BOA shows you're going to. Who should we watch if you watch anybody? It'd be cool to do a react video to a Marshman show if we can catch a good enough recording of it.
Yeah,
and
send us some links for real.
And I may be able to do this Friday. Can't do it Saturday because we got a show Saturday. But maybe Friday, maybe I'll bite the bullet and get this Box 5 and get this show because we're going to have to watch it for finals anyway. Maybe do a little watch party. I can watch the shows. We can watch them together and we talk about what we're seeing, what we like, what we don't like.
Nice.
All different types of stuff. So we got some options. We're still doing React videos, so look out for those. We have not forgot about Perk Talk. Just life's been busy, but we're going to get some of those episodes out. We might get 13 in one day. I don't know. Just may happen. I don't know. But got lots of things coming. But like I said, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit us on social medias. We're on the back hash at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I always forget one. YouTube.
Anchor.
Feel like Facebook. I said Facebook. But yeah, all of the Twitter, all the things. And then you can listen. Spotify and Anchor. Is where you can listen to the podcast. But if you want to see our beautiful faces, YouTube's the place to be for that. Spotify's working on video. They ain't got there yet, but they're working on it. So, all right. Well, if there's nothing else for Zach and William and our buddy Chris, who's getting well, this is Cedric, and this has been episode 17 on the back hash. Make sure you go out and watch the Marching Man shows this weekend. Take care of each other. Be nice. Cheer for everybody. Even little Susie, who dropped that 13 rifle toss that she shouldn't have been thrown in the first place.
She's getting kicked out in the morning.
Patricia!
I'm not doing it. Patricia! Get it together, sweetie.
So, for all of us, to all of you, we like to say see you later and
Dut. Out.
out.
Send us merch.